Hi everyone, welcome to this shoulder class. We're going to work on our shoulders because both flexibility and strength is needed in this kind of joints, especially when we grow older. The shoulders can either be very stiff or if you have a lot of range of movement, your shoulders can be over flexible. So both is really important to have flexibility and strength in this shoulders, the joint of the shoulders. I'm very happy that you're joining this class. What we're going to need for this class is a belt, a block, and a blanket. So when you're at home and you don't have this yoga props, then use for a belt maybe an old t-shirt or a sock, or you just have a normal belt. I know you're creative, so just look for something in the house. We need a belt. Then, if you don't have it, you can still do this class, huh? Then we need a blanket, but if you don't have a blanket at home, you can also use a towel. A towel is fine. And if you don't have blocks, then take a nice thick book. But actually, even a thin book will work, maybe. So any book. We're going to start laying down onto a blanket. So when you have your blanket, make a nice shape of it, like something like this. And then you're going to roll that up. So you have a nice roll. You can make it a little bit thicker if you want, or a little bit thinner, and you kind of place it just on the lowest part of your shoulder blades. So if you see this kind of shape of the shoulder blade, then it's a little bit of the continent Africa, and then the blanket will be in South Africa. Bend your knees, placing the feet onto the floor, and really slowly you're going to roll yourself on top of this blanket. Interlace the fingers behind your head and just wait here and take a couple of breaths here. And then on the next inhale, see if you can find a little bit length. And exhale, let the weight slowly come into your hands. Let the weight enter more and more of your upper back. And depending how thick you made your blanket, it's easy to go down or maybe a bit challenging. And really take your time, so don't rush, just go very slowly. And then you can either bring your hands into a cactus shape or anywhere where it feels nice for your shoulders. Because for some shoulders this can be already quite challenging. Maybe you want to bring your arms all the way overhead. Maybe you want to just keep your hands onto your ribs. Sometimes it's nice to also lift your head a little bit. So if you feel that your head is tilting, that your chin is really coming up, then it's maybe nice to find a little bit more length into the neck and to just find a small pillow or something where you can rest your head on. And then we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Giving the body time to arrive. While we're working on the shoulder area, it's also related with the heart. There's many shoulder openings are connecting also with the front and the highest part of your rib cage. So a lot of shoulder openings, there are also these chest openings. So maybe just bring your awareness towards your heart. If you want to straighten out the legs, that's fine. Maybe you want to do a butterfly pose with your feet together. Just arrive here. See if you can bring your focus towards your heart area. Maybe you can feel a small opening also, like in the chest, more space in the front of your body. Keep the focus by your heart and stay in this laying position on the blanket just for a couple of more moments. If it's enough for you, then you can always roll towards your side and wait until I'm going to guide everyone towards the side. So I'm going to read for you a beautiful affirmation, a heart meditation. And it's a bit of a prayer for all of us. Maybe if you like, you can also bring both hands onto your heart area, but maybe that doesn't feel good for your shoulder, so always go for that, that option that feels good for your shoulders. Help us to love life, to be life, to be love. Help us to love ourselves with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgment. Because when we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty, and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who live around us. Especially help us to love others just the way they are, with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are, without judgment. Because when we judge them, we find them guilty. We blame them and we have to punish them. Today, clean our hearts from any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgment so that we can live in complete peace and love. Well, that's a nice start of the yoga class. Help us to look towards ourselves without any judgment. Without any expectations. Slowly roll towards your right side. And just, if you want, place that blanket under your head as a little pillow. And curl your knees a bit into the chest. So you're rounding your spine a little bit. Just have a moment to feel after this first opening of the upper back, opening of the shoulders. And then slowly from here, we push ourselves up and then come into a hero pose. So we're going to sit onto our heels. If that's not comfortable, then take either your books or your blocks if you have them and sit onto the blocks. Or find another way to sit, because we're going to stay here for some time. And the first we're going to do is just to start with the neck a little bit. Moving the head towards the right, towards the center, towards the left, and just making some circling movement with the neck. And then stay onto your right side when you're there. And then with your right hand you can place that on top of your ear and just give yourself an even more stretch. Slowly come up and do the same thing on the other side. So we're moving and bending the neck, and just with a little bit, you don't have to push, you just rest your hand on top of your ear and the weight will do its thing. And then slowly come back. And make some nice shoulder rolls here. Move them to the front, upwards and back. To the front, upwards and back. And then the other way around, so backwards, up to the front, backwards, up to the front and down. Just exploring the shoulders. How do they feel today? And what kind of relationships do you have with your shoulders? I personally have a very challenging one. I have a very, very challenging relationship with my shoulders. But we're getting better and better. Okay, placing now the hands on top of your shoulders. And now bringing the elbows towards each other. Maybe they can even touch. And then open all the way backwards, down to the front. And open backwards and down. So a couple of rounds. Let the elbows kiss. And then really spread them wide open. As if you're drawing big circles with your elbows. And you can just sit here and do this like, or you can really put your focus in it. So if you're here now anyway, make the best out of it. Really just put your energy there. Make the biggest circles you've ever made with your elbows. Feel. And now we're going to move the other direction. So we're moving backwards, upwards, and then we're going to kiss the elbows. Or the elbows kiss each other. At the same time, you can really focus onto the breath. And make it your last circle. Make it your best and biggest circle. And release. Okay, and then place your right hand to the front. And then with your left hand, you're going to just pull the pinky finger to the back. And then you can take the other finger and really pull it towards you, so you get that stretch. And then the third one. And then the index finger and also the thumb. And then you're going to do the other hand, so pinky finger, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and thumb. And shake it out. And then see if you can grab your hands behind you. And then either you grab your own hands, your wrist, your lower arm, or your elbows, or even your upper arms. And some of you can also make a reverse namaste behind your back. So choose what feels good for your shoulders, and also, of course, feels good for your wrist. And then see if you can really find length, pushing the two sitting bones down, finding length into the spine, pushing the ribs a little bit back to the belly so your abdominals are active here, and just breathe. 5 deep breaths here. Relaxing the face, but keep a very active seated posture. Spine is straight, shoulders away from your ears. And then slowly release. Okay, then lift up your right arm and then bend your right elbow and place your hand somewhere in between your shoulder blades or your neck. And then with your left hand, you're going to hold this elbow and you're going to push it backwards, close towards your ears. And I want you to feel a stretch somewhere here on the right side, the back of your arm. We're going to hold this for about 10 breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sit up straight, sit up tall. And 10. And release. Just let your arms hang alongside your body and feel maybe the difference between left and right. Feel the sensations. And then lifting up the left arm, bend the left elbow, place the hand somewhere in between your shoulder blades, and then really hold this elbow, pull it backwards and close towards your head. Sit up tall, navel in, strong core, and breathe. And really try to feel this stretch on the outside, on the back of your right arm. Move the shoulder close towards your ear. Keep it there. Keep pushing. Relaxing the head as much as it goes. Don't bring your head too much to the front or to the back. And one more breath here. And then slowly let go. And again, feel the difference. Feel any tension and give yourself time to let that tension go again. And slowly we move from this hero pose and come to all fours, hands and knees. And just straighten out one leg, push the heel away from you, and then change sides. Straighten the leg, pushing that heel away from you. A couple of times on your own. And then tucking the toes, spread the fingers wide and come into your downward facing dog. Bend one knee, try to straighten the other. And then bend both knees, look between your hands and slowly step your feet all the way to the front of your mat. You can just hang here into a forward fold. If you want, you can also lean on top of your thighs. Give yourself a little bit more time. And slowly roll yourself up. Let your arms hang heavily down. Pulling the navel in and slowly come up into a standing posture. Just a couple of sun salutations to warm the body. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, come to a high push-up plank. Exhale, knees, chin, chest to the floor. So Ashtanga Namaskar, back bend. And then scoop yourself forward and come into a cobra. And then from here, roll yourself back, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, look between your hands and step your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, come to a high push-up plank. And then Ashtanga Namaskar. So we bring the knees to the floor. We bend the elbows. We move a bit backwards. I'm going to arching my spine. I'm going to bring my knees, chin and chest to the floor. And then I'm going to scoop myself forward into a cobra pose. And then pressing myself back into a downward facing dog. Bend your knees, walk or step your feet to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a high push-up plank. Exhale, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chin, chest to the floor. And then scoop yourself forward, open. And exhale, downward facing dog and breathe. Then lifting up the right leg, bringing that right foot in between your hands and come up into a high lunge. Reach your arms up and sink into your lunge position. Breathe. Slowly come back, downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg, bringing that left foot in between your hands. Come up into a high lunge. Stay here, breathe. And slowly come back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a high push-up plank. Now bringing the knees to the floor. I'm going to teach you a way that you can still do this vinyasa, but without putting any force onto the shoulders. Because maybe you want to do this shoulder class because you have actually a bit pain in the shoulders. This is actually what I'm also teaching to pregnant women, to be able to always join the vinyasa class as well. So on an inhale, you just come up onto your knees, take a deep breath in, really opening up the chest. You can even make a nice movement with your arms, and then come back into a downward facing dog. So let's do that again together. Take a deep breath in, come to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lowering down the knees. Inhale all the way up. And exhale back into your downward facing dog. And just bend one knee, try to straighten the other, maybe dance a bit your down dog. And then bringing the knees into to the floor. And then coming to Anahatasana, opening up the chest, opening up the heart and shoulder area. So your buttock stays really high up. I'm melting my heart to the floor. And you can do with your arms, I'm keeping my arms a bit active here. I like to do that because I feel a nice stretch in the front of my shoulders. But you can also place your hands to the floor, maybe towards each other, maybe even wider. Or maybe you can take your books and place your hands on top of the books and sink even deeper into the shoulder stretch. Give yourself one more breath in this pose. And slowly come back up towards all fours, hands and knees. Tucking the toes and come back to downward facing dog. Bending the knees, look between your hands and slowly step your feet all the way to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in, come up halfway. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Take a deep breath in, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting up the right leg. Bringing that right foot in between your hands and come up into your high lunge. Take a deep breath in and exhale, angel wings. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, elbows down. Inhale, arms up again. Exhale, opening up the front of the body. Feel the stretch and opening. Inhale, 2 more times. And then bringing both hands down and step back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, come to a high push-up plank. Exhale, lowering down the knees. Inhale, opening up, and exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, come to a high push-up plank. Exhale, knees, chin, chest to the floor, or skip this one. But it's a nice back bend, so keep practicing. Inhale, opening up the chest. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg. Bringing that left foot in between your hands and come up into this high lunge. Inhale deep, exhale, squeeze. Inhale, exhale. Inhale deep. Exhale, angel wings, squeezing the back of the body, opening up the front of the body while doing this balance pose. Bringing your hands back to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Now bringing the knees towards towards the floor, and we're back into all fours. So the place where you have your hands, you're going to place your elbows. And then you're going to interlock the fingers. And we're going to press the lower arms really firm towards the floor. So there's space between the ears and the shoulders. So we're not just hanging here, we're actually pulling the shoulder blades down. And we're pressing the lower arms into the floor. Pull the navel in, rib cage to the belly, tucking the toes and lift up. Now walk your toes a bit in while pressing your heart towards your thighs. So here we are in Dolphin Pose. So it's like a down dog, but onto the lower arms. Breathe. And then slowly come back towards hands and knees. Now just jump onto the top of your fingers, pop, and then back towards your hands. Jump towards the top of your fingers, so these little spider fingers, and back to your hands. And let's do this a couple of times. So up, up, up to the fingertips, hands flat onto the floor. Up, flat, up, flat, up, flat, up, flat. Little spiders, flat. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, and the last one. And just feel maybe the muscles of your lower arms. So it's a nice practice. Maybe just move your hands a little bit, shake it out. And then come back towards hands and knees, and then tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Bending the knees, look between your hands, step or walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, nose towards the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting up the right leg. Bringing that right foot all the way in between your hands and come up into a high lunge. Opening up, warrior 2. Take a deep breath in, reverse warrior. And on an exhale, wave your hands down, back into a high push-up plank. Lowering down the knees, tucking the tailbone, Ashtanga Namaskar, knees, chin, chest to the floor. Scoop yourself forward, inhale, open. And exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a high push-up plank, knees to the floor. Take a deep breath in now, open. And exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Bringing the knees to the floor, elbows on the place of your hands. Dolphin pose. Option 1, you interlace the fingers again. Option 2, you keep your hands flat onto the floor. So choose your option, lift up your knees and come into your dolphin pose. Breathe. If you want, lift up your right leg. Keep pressing your heart towards your left thigh. Keep pulling your shoulder blades away from your ears. Keep breathing. If you don't breathe, you die. Lift up your left leg by first, of course, bringing your right leg down. So change and alternate. Keep pressing your heart towards your right thigh. Lift up your left leg. Pull the shoulder blades down away from your ears. And slowly come back into a pose of a child. Just a couple of breaths here. Feeling the expansion of your rib cage on an in-breath. And allow the body to just sink and feel heavy onto the earth on your exhale. And take one more deep breath. And slowly come out. And then come and sit onto your heels again. Or use the blocks. Or sit onto something where you can feel like, okay, I'm going to sit here and it's working. Take your belt or whatever you have. If you don't have it, don't worry. So, lifting up the right arm. And bend the right elbow and place it again, the hand in your upper back. Then with your left hand you take again your right elbow and you're going to push it back. Now be careful that you don't just pop out your ribs. So you're hanging to your lower back. So really try to sit straight, pushing the ribs down, activate your core, find this stretch. Now bringing the left arm to the side and the palm away from you. And then see if you can bring your left hand also on the back. And then walk the hands towards each other. And maybe you can grab the hands. Again, don't lose this connection. Pull the ribs in. Sit up straight and tall. Breathe. 5 deep breaths here. 1. So if you cannot hold it, I have that with my other side as well. So Then you can take the belt, wherever you have, and just hold that belt. So you can actually hold on something. If you don't have the belt, then you can hold also your t-shirt. Or at least just have that intention to bring your hands towards each other. Okay, I think this is like 5 breaths. So slowly relax. Have a moment, relaxing the neck, relaxing the arms, the shoulders. And then lifting up the left arm, bend the left elbow and place your left hand somewhere into your upper back. With your right hand on top of your elbow, push it back. So you push it a little bit further. Okay, and then right arm to the side, palm away from you. And then from here, see if you can walk your fingers towards each other. If they're not reaching, maybe you want to take the belt and then hold the belt and see if you can feel even a stretch here. And again, 5 deep breaths here, keeping the ribs really in. And then slowly release. And then come out of this pose and come back to all fours. Just move a little bit. Maybe a cat and cow. And then we're tucking our toes, spreading the fingers wide, and come back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look between your hands, and step or walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And interlace the fingers behind your back. Take a deep breath in, stay here and breathe. See if you can straighten the arms a little bit more. Keeping the ribs close to the belly, strong core muscles, relaxing the neck, relaxing the face. And then release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg, bringing that left foot all the way forward and come up into a high lunge. Open up into a warrior two pose. Take a deep breath in, reverse warrior. And on an exhale, wave your hands down to a high push-up plank. Lowering down knees, chin, chest to the floor. Scoop yourself forward, inhale, open. Exhale back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a high push-up plank, bringing the knees to the floor. Lift up your arms all the way open, opening up the front of your body, and back into your downward facing dog. And then lifting up the right leg, bringing that right foot in between your hands, and come up into a high lunge. Now bringing the arms to the side, bringing your left arm under, and your right arm over, and then see if you can press the back of the hands towards each other. So really squeeze. So we're not gonna into eagle arm pose. We're staying here, everyone stays here, and we're gonna push the back of the palms towards each other. And feel that stretch in your shoulders. Keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. And now open up into a warrior two pose. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, twist your lunge. Left hand down, right arm up, left heel up. And come back into your downward facing dog. Lift up your left leg, bringing your left foot all the way in between your hands and come up into a high lunge. Arms to the side. Right arm under, left arm over. And now just the elbows are in each other and the back of the palm, so the back of your hand, you're gonna push them towards each other. Push, 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 push. Feel the strength into your shoulders. And now opening up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, wave your hands down, downward facing dog. And then bend the knees and come to hands and knees, the place where you have your hands, the third round into Dolphin Pose, either your hands interlocked or your hands flat onto the floor. Lift up, walk your toes maybe a little bit in, lift up your sitting bones really high, pressing your heart towards your thighs. Breathe. Lift up your right leg. And right leg down, lift up your left leg. And left leg down and come into child pose. Breathe. And slowly roll yourself up. And then take your block. It's a mix of a block and a book. A block, so take your block. And then what we're going to do, we're going to hold this block or the book between the hands. And we're going to lift it up above the head. And again, this is easy to really, to just let the belly, you lose the connection here. So really pull the navel in and the core muscles and the ribs close towards the belly. Okay, and now you're going to push into this book from the side. Your hands are flat. You're holding the book. And then you're going to push it. Push it. Push. Push. Really squeeze it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Squeeze it. Keep your arms as straight as you can. Squeeze it. And relax. You need strong shoulders, but also flexible shoulders. So come into the eagle arm pose. So the left arm goes under, the right arm goes over, and we just did only pressing. And this is a very good practice also. But if you can wind your arms, then maybe wind your arms. Ribs in, sit up straight, elbows a bit higher. Shoulders a bit down, hands away from your face. Breathe. And then slowly release. Arms to the side. Right arm under, left arm over. And option one, just keep pushing your back of the palms towards each other. Or wiggle into eagle arms. Belly in, ribs in, sit up straight. Elbows up, shoulders down, hands away from your face and breathe. And then slowly release. Come to hands and knees. And press yourself back into a downward facing dog. We're going to do one more round of this flow. Bend your knees, look between your hands, step or walk your feet to the front of your mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale nose towards the knees. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Interlock the fingers behind your back. Take a deep breath in, open. On your next inhale, find more length. Exhale, forward fold, bringing your arms overhead. Bending the knees, swing your arms forward. Exhale, forward fold and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting up the right leg, bringing that right foot in between your hands and come up into a high lunge. Arms to the side, left arm under, right arm over, and interlace, or keep pressing your back of the hands towards each other. Now see if you can lift up your arms a little bit higher, sink a bit into your hips, pull the navel in, ribs close to the belly, and maybe lift up, find a little bit more length and lift, and maybe a small back bend here. Keep pressing the weight into the right knee. Slowly come out into a warrior two pose. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, left hand down, left heel up. Twist your lunge. Right hand down and come into a high push-up plank. Knees, chin, chest to the floor. Scoop yourself forward into cobra or upper facing dog. And press yourself back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come to a high push-up plank, knees to the floor, lift up your arms, inhale deep, exhale, come back into your downward facing dog. Lifting up the left leg, bringing that left foot in between your hands and come up into your high lunge. Arms to the side, right arm under, left arm over, and either push the back of your hands towards each other or come into this full cow face or eagle pose, eagle arm pose. Sink deep into the hips, belly in, ribs in, and lengthening. See if you can lift up your elbows a little bit higher. Now bend into your upper back, exactly the place where we had this little blanket in the beginning of the class. Just see if you can find length and opening. And slowly open into a warrior two pose. Take a deep breath in, reverse warrior. And on the exhale, twist your lunge, right hand down, left arm up. Come back into a high push-up plank, knees, chin, chest to the floor, Ashtanga Namaskar. Scoop yourself forward into cobra or upper facing dog. And press yourself back, downward facing dog. Last one, inhale, high push-up plank, lowering down the knees. Inhale, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then walk your feet towards the center. Opening up the knees as wide as the mat and come into a squat. So here we are in a squat pose. And what are we going to do? Going to work even more a little bit onto the shoulders. We're going to bring the right hand into our the space from our belly and our thigh. And the back of the elbow is going to be on the inside of the knee. So really go into it deep. The other one as well. So we're going to bring the hands inside our side of the body. And then when you're here, you're going to push your elbows, your arms to the side. And you're going to push your knees towards your arms. This is really for this muscle on the outside of your shoulder. So I hope you can feel it. Otherwise, maybe you have to go a little bit more deeper. If you stay up too straight, then maybe you don't reach it. So you really have to dive into it. And then pressing the arms into the knees into the arms for a little bit more resistance. And slowly come out and come into a seat. Take a deep breath in, just come into a forward fold. Straighten the legs. And move your upper body over your lower part of your body. Every inhale finding length. Every exhale sink a tiny little bit deeper. And slowly come back up. And then come into a reverse tabletop. So take a deep breath in and lift up. And then slowly we come down. And turn yourself around again onto all fours. we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a massage for the arms and the wrist. So you're going to place one arm, let's say the right arm, down onto the floor. It looks probably very funny. And then I'm going to try to bring one of my knees towards that lower arm. And I'm going to just place my own knee onto my lower arm. Very gentle. I'm going to move a little bit from left to right. And here you can give yourself a nice massage for the lower arms. You can have a look at your own fingers. And suddenly you're not in control anymore of the movement of your fingers. Maybe the other knee is working better. You can try which knee is working for you better. Okay, let's do the other side. So you place the other arm onto the floor. And then try to bring one knee. With the knee, you're massaging your lower arm. Maybe all the way to the wrist. If you're at home and you're like, what is she doing? And it's really science fiction, then just maybe massage your lower arm by clapping, moving, rubbing, nodding. Just make some nice movements to massage these arms and the wrists. Shake them out. So a little bit of massage. And then come lay down onto your back, bringing the knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice moment of relaxing here. We're moving into a twist, so if you know a nice twist, make your most comfortable twist. Otherwise, just listening to my cues. So I'm going to place my feet gentle back onto the mat. I'm going to scoop my hips a bit towards the right. And I'm going to bring my knees back into the chest. So I'm more or less leaning only on my left buttocks now. And then I'm going to just by itself bring the knees towards the left. This looks different with everyone, so maybe it's not comfortable. Placing a block or a pillow can help you to relax even more into the twist. So either under your left knee or between the knees. A little bit of support is nice. Then bring your both shoulder blades back towards the center. And then coming to this laying twist. You can bring your arm to the side, over towards your ear. It feels good for your shoulder here. I'm going to stay here for a minute or so. So really surrender in this twist. So many shoulder openings and stretchings and strengthenings. Now it's time to relax. Feel the rising and falling of your belly. See if you can relax your face a little bit more. Relaxing the jaw. Take one more deep breath here. And very slowly come out of this pose. And then twist over towards the other side. So the hips a bit towards the left and the knees over towards the right. Slowing down, slowing down. Still maybe feel the sensations of your hands, your fingers, and your shoulders. Maybe a lot of stretches by the upper back, upper arms, lower arms, wrists and fingers. This is also the place of the meridians of the lungs and the heart. So I will read the beautiful affirmation again for you later, and it's a cleansing of your heart. And of course also the lungs and the hearts are the most vital organs we have. Okay, one more last deep breath in this twist. And then slowly bring ourselves back towards the center of the mat. Maybe do that movement your body's really asking for. If you have your own home practice, maybe this is your moment to just do that pose you really missed. Otherwise, just maybe put something warm on. Come into a happy baby, or just moving your hands, your wrists a little bit. Or rock and roll a little bit forward and backwards. And then come into your Shavasana. Make sure you're warm enough. Place a blanket over you. And make it yourself comfortable. Don't worry, I will wake you up. I'm not going to go anywhere. So make it yourself comfortable and really enjoy this moment of not doing anything. I know it can be difficult to practice Shavasana at your living room, but just stay where you are and enjoy a couple of moments, nothing, relaxing the body completely, relaxing the feet and the ankles and the calf muscles and your knees, relaxing the thighs and the hips, and relaxing the belly and your chest and the ribs and the side of the body and the back of the body and your shoulders and your upper arms and your elbows and your lower part of your arm. This is the winding down part, relaxing the fingers and the wrist and the little joints of the fingers, and relaxing the neck and the throat, relaxing your head, your eyes, your nose, the lips. Just completely relax. Help us to love life, to be love. Help us to love ourselves with no conditions, no expectations, no obligations, without any judgments. When we judge ourselves, we find ourselves guilty, and we need to be punished. Help us to love everything unconditionally, especially other human beings, especially those who live around us. Help us to love others the way they are, with no conditions. Help us to accept them the way they are, without judgments, because if we judge them, we find them guilty. We blame them and we have to punish them. Today, clean our hearts of any emotional poison that we have. Free our minds from any judgments, so that we can live in complete peace and love. Very slowly start to wiggle your fingers, your toes, the ankles, the wrists. Maybe start to deepening the breath. Send your in-breath to every cell of your body. Bringing the knees into the chest, hug yourself in. And roll onto your right side. And slowly come towards a seat, maybe with your eyes still closed. And then placing the hands together and really rub them warm. And then when you really feel the heat between your hands, place them onto your heart. Really feel the warmth and drink that warmth in. And then placing both hands together. And then really press the thumbs together and the pinky fingers together. And then slowly, well, maybe just bow your head towards your own hands so you can actually have a look at your own fingers. So you're pressing the thumbs towards each other and your pinkies. And then slowly, very slowly, open up the other three fingers. And you're opening them, and you're opening up them, and you're opening. And this is the Lotus Mudra. To be open with your heart. To let love rule. And you can, of course, close it again. If you feel you need to protect your own heart, close them. And sometimes open them. Just close your eyes and feel what that does to you to just sit with your arms or your fingers open into the Lotus Mudra. Or to sit with your hands into Anjali Mudra, Namaste. What's the difference? If you really feel a difference, let me know. You can write it below this video. I'm really curious if you could feel some difference. If not, just maybe practice a little bit more. It's not that it's wrong when you don't feel something. It's just nice if you can feel maybe. Maybe there's no difference for you. Maybe there's a big difference for you. But if you have like a blockade, like you don't feel, then I would say practice a little bit more so you can feel. So let's finish with one Om. Exhale completely. Inhale deep. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching this video and joining. I hope to see you soon. Stay in contact and yes, stay in contact. Bye bye. Mwah.